Hamas military wing released footage showing its fighters handing over Israeli hostages to members of the International Committee of the Red Cross on January 19 in Gaza City. The three women, Romy Gonen, Doran Steinbrecher, and Emily Damari, got out of a car and were handed over to Red Cross officials amid a surging crowd that was held back by armed men in camouflaged military gear, with green Hamas headbands. Regarding the critical moment in Gaza, the United Nations said there was a huge amount of work to be done to help Gaza and its residents recover from 15 months of war at the start of the ceasefire.
Big challenges ahead of us. Roads will need to be cleared, shelters need to be set up, and supplies need to flow in. We hope that this will all be possible in the coming weeks, as well as the returns of hundreds of thousands of people from the south to the north.
According to Hamas, the 90 Palestinians to go free on Sunday include 69 women and 21 teenage boys, which also raises hopes that peace may be achieved in Gaza. Worldwide News reports.
On Friday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sat down for talks with Michael Šimečka, leader of Slovakia's largest opposition party. Zelensky and Šimečka's meeting focused on energy security and mutual cooperation. Zelensky expressed openness to constructive dialogue, emphasizing that Ukraine and Slovakia should strengthen ties, rather than let Moscow divide them.
We're ready to speak about energy security. I understand that this topic is sensitive. We are ready to help Slovak people with energy stability. But for us, it's very important to hear the signals from Slovak nation that you will also support Ukrainian people on our way to EU and NATO.
Šimečka also called for dialogue, urging Fico to engage with Kyiv on the gas issue.
Let me say on behalf of so many in Slovakia who support Ukraine in Slovakia that it's not just about freedom, sovereignty and security of Ukraine, but also Europe as a whole.
Fico, upset over Ukraine's decision to stop Russian gas transits, has threatened to cut aid to Ukraine, citing economic losses for Slovakia. The dispute stems from Kyiv's refusal to extend the gas transit deal with Russia, which expired at the start of the year. While Slovakia has faced higher gas prices, Zelensky maintains that reducing reliance on Russian energy is vital for both countries' long-term security. With both leaders set to attend the Davos Forum next week, the stage may be set for further talks. Worldwide News Report.
TikTok was originally stopped from working for its 170 million American users late on January 19 due to national security concerns of the United States, but at the meantime, Republican President-elect Donald Trump said he will issue an executive order when he takes office on January 20 that would let TikTok be operational, while adding he would like the United States to have a 50% ownership position in a joint venture. Subsequently, TikTok said it was restoring its service and thanked Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to TikTok's service providers, that they will face no penalties for providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. Although TikTok did not appear to be immediately available, it was indeed revived by Trump's words. Worldwide News reports.
Russian President Vladimir Putin and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian met in Moscow on January 17 for talks that culminated in the signing of a comprehensive strategic partnership treaty. The 20-year deal is expected to bolster trade, economic, and defense ties between the two countries, heightening concerns in the West. While the agreement does not include a mutual defense clause, it signals deeper military cooperation, especially with Russia's reliance on Iranian drones in its war against Ukraine.
Ваш сегодняшний визит имеет особое значение, потому что мы не только будем иметь возможность и обсудим все направления нашего сотрудничества, но и подпишем большой базовый договор между Россией и Ираном о всеобъемлющем стратегии.
نیروگاه هستی که الان در توافق هست دارن اجرا میکنن به خوبی داره پیش میره و توافقاتی که در این رابطه هست در این نشست امضا خواهد شد و عملیاتی خواهد شد.
Pezeshkian's visit comes at a time when both countries face increasing isolation from Western powers. Since the start of the Ukraine conflict, Russia has strengthened its alliances with nations like Iran and North Korea, who share antagonism towards the US and its allies. The two leaders also discussed ways to bypass Western sanctions, particularly in the energy sector, with Pezeshkian's delegation including Iran's oil minister. While the Kremlin has declined to confirm receiving Iranian missiles, its collaboration with Tehran continues to raise alarms internationally. Worldwide News Report.
A South Korean court has approved a request for a detention warrant to be issued for arrested President Yoon Suk-yeol, the Seoul Western District Court said on January 19. The approval extends the period he can be held in custody as authorities investigate him on suspicion of insurrection related to his short-lived declaration of martial law on December 3 last year. After the news broke, dozens of angry protesters stormed a South Korean court building in Seoul. Yoon supporters swarmed the building, overwhelming riot police trying to keep them at bay. They blasting fire extinguishers at lines of police guarding the front entrance, before they flooded inside, smashing windows and flinging objects. Police who restored order a few hours later, said they had so far arrested 46 protesters. Regarding the Yoon's accusation of insurrection, Yoon's lawyer said,
당심판에는 적절한 시기에 직접 나오셔서 본인이 말씀하실 겁니다.
But he has continuously exercised his right to remain silent in court. Worldwide News reports.
NATO has ramped up its efforts to safeguard critical undersea infrastructure in the Baltic Sea, launching a new operation called Baltic Sentry. This initiative, which kicked off with the arrival of a Dutch frigate, the Tromp, in Tallinn on Friday, brings NATO's maritime forces into high gear. The operation will see frigates, patrol aircraft, and naval drones deployed to protect key power cables, telecom links, and gas pipelines in the region, which have been targeted in recent incidents. NATO has also made it clear that it reserves the right to take action against any vessels that pose a security threat.
Standing NATO Maritime Group 1 is in the area at the moment to support the new NATO Operation Baltic Sentry. Not too long ago we had a bit of an issue in these waters with critical undersea infrastructure. It is perceived there is a threat to that critical underwater infrastructure, and we're here to help.
The operation follows a series of attacks on critical infrastructure, with power cables and telecom links being damaged. One of the most concerning incidents occurred last month, when Finnish authorities seized a tanker suspected of damaging the S-Link 2 power line and telecom cables by dragging its anchor across the seabed. NATO's decision to bolster its presence underscores the growing risks to vital underwater infrastructure in the region. Worldwide News Report.
Japan's Nintendo will launch the Switch 2 console, successor to its hit Switch device, this year, it said on January 16. The Kyoto-based gaming company did not release pricing for the new device, and said it would provide more details at a Nintendo Direct event on April 2. The company said that existing Switch software will be usable on the new device. Although some games may not be fully compatible, consumers and investors have been waiting for details of the new console, which appears to closely follow the playbook established by the hybrid home portable Switch. The Switch transformed Nintendo's fortunes following the poor performance of the Wii U console, and has sold more than 145 million units. Nintendo has extended the life cycle of the Switch, which launched in 2017, with hardware refreshes and hit games from franchises such as Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda. Worldwide News reports.